We will go ahead and call to order this meeting of the Ames Parks and Recreation Commission for Thursday, March 21st. First item on the agenda is the approval of minutes from the February 15th, 2024 meeting.
I'll move to approve those minutes.
Second.
All right, motion on the table is to approve the minutes from the February 15th meeting. Is there any discussion? All right, all in favor of approval of the minutes from the February 15th meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Seeing none, the motion carries. Next item on the agenda is the public forum. This is an opportunity for members of the public to speak on items that are not on the agenda. I have one card from Lori Biederman.
Hi, I'm Lori Biederman. I live at 1239 Orchard Drive, and I'm here speaking on behalf of Friends of Brookside Park. We're going to be having a series of 5 or 6 walks of wildflower and bird diversity. So we're going to just hike around, look at things in conjunction with Wild Birds Unlimited. And the first one is April 14th. It'll be at 5 or 6 p.m.
Awesome. Thank you for coordinating that.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak in the public forum? All right. Seeing none, we'll go ahead and close public forum. Next item on the agenda is to introduce Pa Goldbeck, the new assistant city manager.
Yeah, so just from a commission standpoint, so we do have the city manager, which is Steve Shanker, and then there are 2 assistant city managers, Brian Phillips and Pa Goldbeck. So what happens is all of the departments are split up between the 2 assistant city managers. So Pa, who is up here, she will be overseeing Parks and Recreation. So if we have questions and so on, she'll be the one that we will go to if Steve's not here and so on. So and she'll provide guidance to Joshua, Courtney, and I. So we thought it'd be a good time to introduce Pa and let her just share a little bit about herself, where she comes from, and that she's super excited about working with Parks and Recreation.
I am super excited about working with you, and good evening, commission members. My name is Pave Goldbeck, and I am the new assistant city manager. So I've been on board for about 6 weeks, so fairly new. I'm not originally from Ames. I actually am born and raised in Minneapolis, and then spent most of my life there, but then moved to Des Moines, and have been living in Des Moines for the last 9 years, working for the city of Des Moines as well. And then recently been given this great opportunity in Ames, and so we'll be relocating at the end of this month. So really excited to be part of the community and settling in here. Parks and Recs is one of my favorite amenities and one of my favorite services that the city provides, for sure. It's my husband and I love to spend a lot of time outdoor in the recreation space, so we take advantage of all the programs and amenities that Parks provides. So I am, as Keith mentioned, I will kind of be overseeing a couple different departments, and Parks and Rec is one of them. And so any way that I can help assist you all, I'm more than happy to try anyway and do that. So thank you for having me here tonight, and I'm excited to be part of the City of Ames team. So thank you.
Awesome. Welcome to Ames.
Thanks, Pa.
All right. Next items on the agenda are regarding the Ames Cyclone Aquatics Club Rock the Blocks swim meet.
Yes. So Commission has 2 documents for approval today. One is the Memorandum of Understanding regarding the use of Furman Aquatic Center and the 2024 annual agreement with the Ames Cyclone Aquatics Club for use of Furman Aquatic Center for the Rock the Block swim meet May 31st to June 2nd, 2024. So the last time we came to commission was back in April of 23, and members of ACAC's board and city staff communicated to the commission that the decision had been made to not host the Rock the Block swim meet in 2023. So after that meeting, city staff and the ACAC members of the board, some of the members of the board, got together for many meetings to discuss goals and needs for each party to figure how Rock the Blocks could be successful in future years at Furman Aquatic Center. So that became the development of these two documents that you see here today. Some of those, I guess, high level summary of some of those goals and needs were extended hours of use for ACAC to host the tournament, or to host the swim meet, for it to be, financially viable, but also to attract that competitive competition that they were desiring. Some other things from the city side, we're also trying to figure out how use of Furman Aquatic Center was with public use. When ACAC had longer extended times for their swim meet prior to 2020, it was operated with the meet going on at the same time as public use, which presented its logistical concerns for not only the public use from a safety standpoint from parking, but just general facility operations. And so it was determined that if we went to those longer extended use of times, that it would be more on an exclusive use for ACAC to host their meet without that public access during those times. So that also brought up the other component of how does that fee structure look like for exclusive use of that facility. And so that is how, I guess, the memorandum of understanding came to be, so we could have somewhat of a historical framework to help guide. We will review that document every 4 years, city staff with the ACAC board, just to make sure that we are staying on track with how the meet and the facility is operating. So we have that framework in place, and then the annual agreement will get updated every year to just have more specifics for that meet itself. So able to achieve those goals, as you can see in the agreement, it does promote longer times for ACAC to host their meet, especially in the evenings on Friday, but then more exclusive use all day Saturday. And then for the majority of the day, early evening in time on Sunday. And with that exclusive use, it does promote a 40% discount for a rental fee for all three basins. So with that, as you saw in the attachment, the agreements were both signed by ACAC, the MOU and the annual agreement, and the city would not be, I guess, city staff would not be presenting it to the commission tonight if we also didn't agree with the terms that were listed in there. So with that mutual agreement, we're recommending that Parks and Recreation Commission approve alternative 1, items A and B. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Yeah, I would just, one point of clarification. So it's not a 40% discount. So it's actually a 60% discount. How that is figured out is that we have used the regular rental rates per basin, and then what we are charging them is 40% of that regular rate. So which comes out to be about a 60% discount over what the general rental rate would be.
Yeah, 40% of the total facility rental fee
is what they're paying.
Yep.
Okay. Any questions for Courtney? Do you want to?
I guess I would just also, just through the conversation. So we do have Frank Fielmeyer and Doug McCorkle, who most of the conversation has been, and they've been working directly with Courtney on a lot of things. So if there are specific questions for Doug or Frank, or if one of you two want to say anything, you can do that. But again, we've worked through this, and Courtney has worked through it with staff, and with ACAC. So I think we're at a good spot with both of these documents.
Yeah, we would agree. I do have a couple of notes to prepare just from the ACAC board perspective. So thanks again for the opportunity to talk here today. As you all are aware, ACAC has been a longstanding partner with the city, working to provide a beneficial activity and service to its community members and surrounding communities. And we have operated the Rock the Blocks meet successfully for the past 12 years. Again, partnering with the city. We've been a partner with the city and have appreciated the city's support prior to COVID. As we approach the MOU and the Rock the Blocks agreement before you, as Courtney noted, our goal was to outline a framework for ACAC to operate the meet in a financially viable manner for both the families of Ames and to provide revenues to reduce costs to those same families. We also understand and appreciate that the city needs to operate the facility and recover its cost for operating it and maintaining that facility for decades to come. In regard to the agreements that you have before you, specifically the Rock the Blocks agreement, I think there are two items that we would like to specifically point out. Courtney mentioned one of those in regard to the rental fee. So the rental fee for us this year is $8,100. That fee is 10 times what ACAC paid 10 years ago in 2014. And it's approximately 4 times what ACAC paid in 2023. ACAC understands the city is facing financial constraints and appreciates the support the city has provided through past rental fee discounts. When the commission evaluates this fee moving forward, ACAC believes it is important to remember that. There are two things here specifically. ACAC will use the facility rain or shine, hot or cold, windy or calm. And based on our review, Ames has favorable weather conditions over the past 13 years, about a third of the weekends that we operate that meet. ACAC is a guarantee for that weekend. Basically, whether there's an electrical storm that'll force us from the pool, but otherwise we're going to be there. And we have operated that pool in the rain before. Secondly, to that point, ACAC will use the facility during hours where the facility is normally not used. So that'd be primarily early Saturday morning and then early Sunday morning. The second primary point, which Courtney also mentioned, is in the past we have asked for full use of the facility all day Friday, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday. Moving forward through this agreement, we are agreeing to enter the facility at 1 p.m. on Friday and exit the facility 4 p.m. on Sunday. So this offers the city opportunities to offer their noon hour lap swim on Friday specifically, and then general public swim on Sunday afternoon. These two concessions are fairly significant for ACAC, both the cost and the operating times for the meet. Again, like Courtney and Keith have noted, we've worked to provide concessions on both parts, but I think those should be noted as we move forward into the future. We understand that as the city engages in building additional aquatic facilities, that the constraints placed on both organizations may change in the future. So again, we thank you for the opportunity to be here and appreciate the opportunity to be able to operate the meet in the future.
Thanks, Doug.
Thanks. Any other feedback or questions? Okay. Would anyone care to make a motion?
Move that we accept the first alternative there.
Second.
Okay. And just to clarify, this is a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding and the agreement with ACAC, or do those need to be two separate motions?
You can do them at the same time.
Okay.
Yes.
Is okay. So a motion is on the table to approve the memorandum of understanding with the Ames Cyclone Aquatics Club regarding the Rock the Block swim meet and the agreement with ACAC to be held May 31st to June 2nd at Furman Aquatic Center. Is there any discussion? I just wanted to say, I know this has been a challenging discussion, but I am thankful that both the city and the ACAC could come together to a mutually agreeable solution. And hopefully, like you said, Doug, when we have additional capacity in the future, just reevaluate, the way to make the best use of the facility for all, both the competitors and the public. So thank you. So, all right.
Yeah, I agree. I'm glad to see this happening this year and glad that we could come to the agreements that we have and meet on. That's great.
Cool. Any other discussion? All right. All in favor of approving the memorandum of understanding and the agreement with Ames Cyclone Aquatics Club, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Seeing none, the motion carries. All right, thank you. So, all right, next item on the agenda is a motion approving several requests regarding the Ames JC's Ames on the Half Shell event in May and June of this year.
Yeah, so this is the agreement that we bring to commission annually regarding the Ames JC request to utilize the Bandshell Park for Ames on the Half Shell. There are 5 Friday evening concerts this year will be between May 31st and June 28th this year. The JCs are also requesting commission recommend to city council to allow the group to sell alcohol, beer and wine coolers at Bandshell Park during this event due to the existing city ordinance that does only allows alcohol to be consumed in community parks, which Bandshell Park is excluded from. Additionally, the JCs have proposed some following rental fee adjustments to staff, but we have informed the JCs that due to the short turnaround of their requests, the impact of their rental fee adjustments, the impacts that they could have on other nonprofit rentals that utilize that facility, and the budget implications that we've already anticipated for this year, that we would not consider any rental fee adjustments for this year. But if it's something that the Parks and Recreation Commission wanted to, could direct staff to engage in those conversations related to those options for future years if it was desired. Those options are listed in the commission action form. So with that, the level of organization the JCs have displayed over the many years of hosting this event at Bandshell, limited complaints and concerns that are brought to Parks and Recreation staff and the police department. Staff is recommending that the commission approve alternate 1, approving the JC's request to sponsor Ames on the Half Shell at Bandshell Park on May 31st through June 28th. Recommend that City Council approve alcohol to be served at Bandshell at the times listed within the commission action or in the commission action form, and waive the JC's payment of the $1 facility fee per ticket sold and the 10% of their gross fee for food and beverage sold from Ames on the Half Shell for their events. So that's all listed under alternate 1, A through C.
Okay. Would any representative, so I have a card here from Melissa Engstrom, if you would, and Katie Minahan, if you would like to speak on this issue, you may come to the podium.
So maybe before Melissa, you speak, are there any questions from commissioners for staff on this? No?
No.
Okay.
I just have a brief comment. I just wanted to thank the commission and Park and Rec for allowing the JCs to do this. We celebrated our 20th year doing Ames on the Half Shell last year. The only year we didn't do it was, I think there was 2 years that we didn't do it. There was many years ago before I joined, and then obviously 2020 we weren't able to host our events. But we've had pretty successful years the last few years that we've been involved, and we had our most successful year last year. So we're hoping to continue that into the future so that we can continue to give back to the community, because that's ultimately what the JCs are and why we want to continue to do Ames on the Half Shell. It's our sole fundraiser each year so that we can give back to the community through our projects, and as well as donations to organizations as well.
Can you just state your address for Katie for the minutes?
I am at 1108 South 4th Street. I am Melissa, by the way. Apartment 3.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or feedback? Yeah, it's a great event, and I hope that, we can, with, city staff, work out sort of, I like this sort of long range, memorandum of understanding that kind of, and then reevaluate it annually, but then you can both plan. I don't know if that's something you would want to engage in or.
So like, Courtney alluded to, and which was in the commission action form, they did have 3 requests for, doing something different, instead of, in lieu of the rental fee. Melissa and I have had, conversation last week. We had some more conversation, today. When we had the conversation last week, some of the information we didn't have, which was their final totals from last year. So if this is something that city or the commission, Parks and Recreation Commission, wants staff to do, and whether it is a a memorandum of understanding or putting something together. We haven't, done that in the past with this group. They have been, like they said, they're 20 years they've been doing this. So if commission really wants us to do something like that, make a separate motion directing us to sit down and look at it. I don't know that you need to direct staff to do a MOU or something along those lines. I think more so if you want us to sit down with the JCs and have conversation about alternatives, how we could look at things differently, how we could maybe, whether it's a flat fee, whether the percentage off of something else, whatever that might be, give us some flexibility. And then over the next year, we'd have conversation with the JCs and we would bring something back to you. Because that's what you did with ACAC and the we had the agreement with them, but then the MOU kind of morphed out of those conversations. So give us some flexibility, and then if that's what the commission wants, if the commission doesn't want us to do that, then then we just continue to move forward with what we've done, in the past with those rental fees.
I mean, I think it just makes sense from both perspectives not to have to necessarily renegotiate it every year, and for both organizations to have an understanding of, what and things do get more expensive, and especially in the recent years. And so if there is a clause for, it will increase 10% year over year, however it works. But I think having that discussion now for next year, as opposed to, that these events start in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that's what, like Courtney said,
Yeah, right.
we're
And-
not the thing for this year.
Right.
We do what is in the commission action form, but if you want to direct staff to sit down with the JCs and look at, are there things that could be done, differently for next year? Leave it a little bit more wide open for us, and I think that's always helpful, because then we're not pigeonholed into doing something. Because there might be something else that comes up, and we would have another year of data, to be used. Because in 2022 they brought in, their gross revenues were about 20,000. In 2023, their gross revenues were 30,000. Is that a blip, or is this a trend? Do they come in this year? Do they bring in 40,000, or do they bring in 30,000, or do they come back and bring in 20,000? So I think that's why I've given us a little bit more flexibility to have those conversations and try to determine what makes sense would be helpful.
Melissa, do you have any guidance or in terms of making a motion to staff, and what conversation you want to have? I guess it doesn't really matter to me,
We would definitely like the opportunity to discuss the different options for rental fees, just because we do want to ramp up our donations to the community. Years ago, we donated to the Park and Rec scholarship fund. We haven't done that in a few years simply because our rates increased for hosting our event at the park. And so we would really like to get back to donating to the scholarship fund as well as other community activities. We want to, our longest running project, almost 90 years, we've been doing our holiday food baskets. And we want to do one in the summertime because we know there's a lot of kids that don't get the nutrition in the summer. So we want to try to start another one. And so we want to be able to use the funds that we make from Ames on the Half Shell to put it back into the community. So we would like the opportunity to have the discussions. I will say this was an oversight on my part. I didn't understand the process. I thought I would have the discussion with you about our options. So that's why we waited until submitting it now. But if we have a year to discuss it, that's great.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many things I'm like, oh, that's happening now.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Would anyone care to make a motion regarding directing staff to sort of discuss a long range?
Anybody else wants to speak on this topic?
Would anyone else like to speak on this topic? I'm getting some feedback. Okay. Would anyone care to make a motion regarding directing staff to discuss a multi-year plan for rates with Ames JCs? Or
Yeah, I guess maybe the first
I don't
thing would do
Oh.
is our recommendation is to approve
Approve,
alternative
right.
number one for this year.
okay,
I think that would be the first order of action. And then after that, if commission wanted to make a motion to direct staff to
Okay.
meet and discuss rental fee options with the JCs for 2025 and beyond.
Okay.
Then that's the direction I would go.
Okay.
Keith is telling me my agenda management is poor today. Fine. All right. Would anyone care to make a motion regarding this year's request?
I move to approve option one. It's historically a very good event, and I'd like to see that continue.
I will second that.
All right. Motion on the table is to approve alternative one, which is to allow the Ames JCs to sponsor Ames on the Half Shell. Recommend City Council approve alcohol to be served on the Fridays of the event and to waive the payment of $1 facility fee per ticket sold and 10% of their gross food beverage sales. Is there any additional discussion? All right. All in favor of approving alternative one, please say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Seeing none, the motion carries. Okay. And then would anyone care to make a motion regarding directing staff to engage Ames JCs in rental rate discussions for 2025 and beyond?
Can I have a point of clarification first?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't remember us directing you to do that with ACAC.
You did.
We did?
Yes. Yep. Yep.
Through a formal motion?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to remember. That was months ago.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was you directed staff to do that. I think if I remember correctly, we did say that, hey, there has been some miscommunication. We will be sitting down with
But I'm talking about the MOU aspect of it.
No, that was
MOU,
not.
no, that kind of
no.
came out as
Okay.
part of our discussions.
That's where I was going. 'Cause
Oh.
I don't remember us asking you to sit down and create a MOU, which turned out fine with them, but
No,
Yeah.
the direction was to sit down and have
Have a
discussions
conversation.
with ACAC to figure out meet for future years. And through those conversations, that's how we were able to determine as staff and ACAC to, hey, this would be an important aspect to include.
I don't
this.
remember that being a formal motion. But
Correct.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess, whatever comes out of this discussion, whether it's an MOU or just like a general plan for rental rates for the next, however many years, and we'll revisit this as part of an annual review,
I mean, I'm
don't
supportive of
know.
whatever you
Maybe
want to
that's
do
an MOU.
with your management of how you want to do it. So,
Correct. Yeah, because with it, just whenever we have these conversations, again, I think that's why keeping it open-ended to sit down with the JCs and have questions, because potentially, we'll talk options. Staff may come back and say, we like how this is done. We have a rental fee. We think that's how we should continue. Maybe there's something that comes out of it where we say, hey, based on these factors, here's how we think we should adjust, their rental fees. So I think that's by having the conversation and looking at it. It's just at this time, because the JCs are not the only nonprofit, that could use this. So I think it's really important for us to have time to have the conversation with the JCs, see how that will impact not only the JCs, other nonprofits, and our budget, the city's budget, which is, that we all know is going to get tighter and tighter with things that are happening at the state legislature. So that's where I think that having time to do that is really important. And again, it may come back and we may say, staff recommends that we do the same thing. Now, the JCs may not like that, but then again, maybe there's something else that comes out of it. So
I think at this time, this isn't really an apples to apples, with the previous, agenda item. So I think at this time, we already have methods and procedures in place for how this happens. So I don't think we need an MOU. If I'm understanding that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think just, would that come out of it? Maybe you didn't direct us to do an MOU with ACAC, but that was the reason that we did the MOU with the ACAC was to look at, there are a lot of changes over the years with staff and with their leadership. They don't have the same president for the, year after year after year. Now Jason Horace, who's their president, has been in that position for a while. But the thing is people change. And the idea of it was to, hey, let's put some things down. So at least if I'm not here, if Courtney's not here, if leadership for the ACAC changes, then you can go to this document and here is a general premise for how this should happen.
Right.
So that's why we put that together.
Yeah.
It kind of morphed out of those conversations that we were having.
Yeah. And these agreements can serve that same purpose as well from a historical standpoint. So really what staff is needing for the JC's purpose is they presented options for fees in the future. And so really all we need is for the Parks and Recreation to direct staff to engage in these conversations related to these options for future years. And that is all we really need at this time.
Okay, that is a very clear explanation. Thank you. Okay, would anyone care to make a motion saying what Courtney said?
Yeah, I'd like to make that motion. It's a mouthful.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that the city engage in talks with the JCs about the future of the Ames on the
Future rental fees.
future rental fees, and I think that helps them plan a little better for the future.
I'll second that.
Second. All right. Motion is on the table to direct staff to engage discussions with Ames JCs regarding rental fees for the Manchell Park for future years. Is there any other discussion, questions? All right. All in favor of directing staff to enter in these discussions, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Seeing none, the motion carries. All right, thank you. Oh, Katie. Oh, it was Jeff. Yeah. Thank you.
I invite you all to come join us at Ames on the Half Shells this summer.
Will do.
Come have
Be
fun
there.
with us.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. Next item is another agenda item pertaining to Manchell Park for Ames Main Street regarding the 515 week event in May.
Yes. So last year in 2023, Ames Main Street expanded their 515 Days event to include a big bash at Bandshell Park. This included live music, beer garden, food, and food trucks, which they plan to do again this year. The event this year would fall on May 17th, 2024. Ames Main Street is requesting that commission recommend to city council to allow its group to sell alcohol, which would be beer and hard seltzer at Bandshell Park for similar reasons due to the city ordinance only allowing those alcohol items to be consumed in community parks, which Bandshell Park does not qualify. They are asking for them to approve the alcohol and to approve the utilization of Bandshell Park with bands playing from 6 to 9 p.m. It's the same event or the same request that they had for us last year, and we as staff did not have any complaints, nor did the Ames Police Department. So we were recommending commission approve alternative 1 as presented on the commission action form.
Okay. Would anyone from Ames Main Street like to speak on this issue, or are there any questions? Okay. My Norwegian heritage is trying to get me to move to change the name to Sitten Mai. We had a Sitten Mai celebration in Sioux Falls, so since it's on the 17th. So anyway, no other Norwegians here. So I'm gonna retire. All right. Okay. If there's no other discussion, would anyone care to make a motion regarding the request for 515 day?
I'd move for option 1.
I will second.
All right. Motion on the table is
Alternative 1.
to Ames Main Street request to use Bandshell Park on May 17th with tear down completed by 10 p.m. and to recommend to City Council to approve alcohol be served at Bandshell Park on May 17th. We have a case of the sillies today. So. Is there any discussion? All right, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Seeing none, the motion carries. All right, thanks for that. Okay, next item on the agenda is a motion approving an agreement with the Ames Youth Baseball League regarding the use of fields 7, 8, and 9 in Brookside from April 1st to November 1st of 2024.
Yeah. For many years, Ames Parks Recreation and Ames Youth Baseball, formerly Ames Little League, have utilized baseball fields within the park system. Now they were at North River Valley Park. Now they're at Brookside. Well, was one at North River Valley Park and Brookside Park. Now they're all at Brookside Park. So Ames Little League does not pay a fee to utilize the smaller fields. They do pay a rental fee for the large former Ames High School field. All the details are outlined in attachment A, which are in your packet. Staff is recommending alternative 1.
Okay, any questions for Joshua on this issue? Okay, would anyone care to make a motion?
I'd make a motion to approve alternative 1.
I'll second that.
All right, motion on the table is to approve the agreement with Ames Youth Baseball regarding the use of field 7, 8, and 9 in Brookside Park. All in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Seeing none, the motion carries. Okay. You need to sign stuff. Okay. Next item on the agenda is project updates from Keith.
So the first project is the Fitch Family Indoor Aquatic Center. Keep giving you updates with this. We do have all the contracts in place, contracts and bonds and everything. So that's a good thing. If you've been by the site, the Story Construction has put up the construction fencing. So a 6-foot fence around well, pretty much around the whole block with it. We are finalizing some signage, or have finalized some signage. So we'll have 2 banners that will go up on the construction fence along Lincoln Way, one on the southwest corner of the lot, and then one on the southeast corner. And each of those 2 banners will have some information about some of the features. There's a QR code on there, so if somebody's walking by, they could scan it and it'll take you to some more information. And we also do have a different picture on each banner. The one in the southeast corner does have kind of that southeast view so you'll see what the building will look like as you're coming from the east. And then the one on the southwest corner has a picture from that corner, so it has the slide and what the building will look like from that end. So those will be getting produced and be getting put up there shortly. We also, the demolition is going to be starting here. There's a few water lines that from the buildings have to be disconnected back at the main. And then demolition will start. So hopefully that will happen here in the next week or so. And then once demolition is done, then they'll start some grading, filling in the holes and start putting utilities in, all of that kind of stuff. So we're moving along. We are working with Media Productions from the city to do a time-lapse camera. So people will be able to see the progress of what's happening at the site. Joshua's been working with the communication companies to move some MediaCom, MetroNet, and so on to get their lines relocated. So that is getting nearing completion. So we can get them into the right of way, and then the poles, electric poles, will be removed from the site. I think electric has already been kind of rerouted. So it's not going through the site, so that will help with the with the demolition. We did take to council the comments or about some additions to the building. So putting solar on the roof, the tile line. So they directed staff to generate some cost associated with those. So we do change orders. The RDG and the other consultants are working on those. They'll work with the contractors. We'll get some pricing, and then we'll take those back to council at some point. So other than that, I think those are kind of the main things that are happening. So we're already getting RFIs, which is request for information. The contractors are working on their plan submittals. They're getting additional questions. So a lot of things are starting to happen and flow. So we're pretty excited with it. We did finalize builder's risk. We got that insurance policy put in place, so that's all good to go. We will be taking to council maybe as early as next Tuesday, materials testing contract. We did an RFP, a request for proposals. We got 4 proposals back. We may make a recommendation, like I said, next Tuesday potentially with that. So that's for compaction, when they're filling holes, the compaction, any concrete, just a number of different things that this company would test, throughout the construction process. And Story Construction, City of Ames would hold that contract. City of Story Construction would actually work with them and communicate with them for the testing. So, anything missed?
I think that's good for now. Yeah. think that's it.
All right. So moving along, like I said, we're excited with that. The Stephen L. Shanker, Plaza, continuing to work through that. We did get the pump skid and the chiller skid. Those are in the building. Everything ICE is making those connections, to get everything ready to go. The condenser outside, which is part of the ice making system, that's set to be delivered April 15th. So that will then get delivered and installed. Number of other things. There have been some changes to the irrigation, plans. We're just waiting for the contractor to come back, and we're hoping that we may get a price reduction, hopefully, but we also have made some changes with the landscaping plan. Hinkle was working on some of the sub base for some of the seating nooks, for the spray pad and everything. The water contractor will be coming back here at some point and making all those final connections, to inside the building and everything. So we should be seeing some concrete, should be seeing some plantings happening here in the spring. So hopefully we keep continuing to move forward, and we can do a ribbon cutting in this probably summertime with that. So anything there? Those are the main things
Yeah, you hit it all.
with
Yep.
it. So, all right. Okay. And then with the mini pitch courts up at Lloyd Kurtz, we talked about this at the last meeting. The commission talked about it. We did take that information that we shared with you, as well as your recommendations, to city council. City council listened to all the information, and basically what they looked at is they want they have the funding. We have $150,000 identified. We gave them some options for some project savings on a couple of other projects. The stairs at Ionis Grove, painting project at Furman Aquatic Center. City council also does have a contingency, fund that they could use. So basically, what the city council gave direction to staff is move forward with one court, not two. Make it specific to the mini pitch or to soccer, and use savings from the two projects that we had identified. So that's where we're moving forward. With they did approve the agreement with Stonebrook Church to utilize their parking and so on. There are some other developments that Courtney and I have met with Stonebrook Church on, some things that they're looking at potentially doing. That hasn't gone public, so I'm not going to share any of the details of that. But right now, we're looking to move forward, get a survey of the property, of where we're going to be constructing the mini pitch, and then we'll move forward with some contracts, basically serve as our own general contractor to get the pad and electric, and then get the mini pitch court done. So we're looking, if everything goes well, we'll have that ribbon cutting sometime this fall. Would be great. So.
Cool.
All right. There's one other thing you just mentioned. Put it on your radar. So we have with the pickleball courts, that were finished, last year, working with the local pickleball club. So we are going to be doing a ribbon cutting on Saturday, April 27th at 11 a.m. And so prior to that, we don't have all the details. We'll put it in our newsletter. We'll do press releases. We'll get it out on social media. But the pickleball club is looking at maybe doing some lessons and some other things, maybe from 9 to 11. And then they'll have refreshments And then we'll do the ribbon cutting at 11. And then after 11, they're looking to do kind of get some of the people that first started playing pickleball in Ames and get them to do kind of a ceremonial match right after the ribbon cutting. So as we work through that, one thing that we might wind up doing also is Emma McCarthy Lee is celebrating their 75th birthday or anniversary of it becoming a park. So we might tie that into that ribbon cutting as well. And we're working on some other things. 75th anniversary of that becoming a park, and then be talking with friends of Ada Hayden because it's a 20th anniversary of Ada Hayden this year as well. So there are some other things that we'll kind of wrap you in and kind of remind you of what's coming up as we get more details.
Exciting year.
Yeah, a lot of fun things.
It is also my 20th anniversary of becoming
commission?
an Ames resident. Not quite. I mean, like half of those years. On the
In Ames?
Yes, like
Yeah.
Ada Hayden, I think opened like a month before I arrived in
Yeah.
Ames in June of 2004.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'll be August 15th. I'll celebrate my 30th year with the city
crazy.
Wow.
of Ames. So yeah, a lot of fun things happening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is the monthly report.
Yeah, I'll just point out a few things. So we did have our hiring tailgate. This is the second year we've done the hiring tailgate at Homewood Golf Course. We did that at the clubhouse. We did that on February 24th. All the managers and hiring supervisors were there to talk to prospective candidates about job opportunities. We still do have a lot of job opportunities. So if there are lifeguards and swim instructors out there, we are still hiring. We also have openings at the community center, a lot of things within youth and adult activities as our outdoor programs start up, camp counselors as well, and then also going into our summer staff at the Ames ISU Ice Arena. So if anybody listening is looking for some part-time temporary work, we are hiring, and all the jobs are posted at the cityofames.org on the website there. We also we did have Homewood Golf Course did open early. It opened on March 11th, so about 3 weeks earlier than it normally does with the weather. We did have to close on Sunday and Monday of this past week, but we did have golfers rearing to go on Tuesday that were back out there on the course, and we will be closed this weekend as well. But then we'll be close to our normal opening day that first week of April. But with the weather maybe turning a little colder this week, and we do have some activities at the auditorium. We have our annual Fifth and Clark series on Friday, where we will have a local band performing 11 Moons at 7 p.m. Tickets are $5. You can purchase them at the door. And then on Saturday, March 23rd, we actually have a tribute band as part of our tribute series, tribute to Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. We'll be at the auditorium. Tickets are $10. You can also buy those in advance or purchase those at the door, and the show starts at 7. So some fun activities for the weekend.
So Jet Threat, and I'm sure the first one that came to your mind, Jeremy, was hit me with your best shot.
That's right.
That's what's playing in your head right now.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, that's exciting.
The
Not
first
to
one.
be not to be outdone.
I mean, how can you?
No, we got a lot of things, a lot of great things coming out of the park system as well. Here in the middle of April, all of our restrooms will be open for the season. So just be on the lookout for that. And then also just some other projects going on in the park system. We started the demo of the Lloyd Kurtz playground up in North Ames. We got an installer coming in next week, weather dependent. And then we got 2 other playgrounds, Country Gables Park, which is on the southeast side of town, down off of South Duff and Crystal area. New playground out there. And then also Christopher Gartner Park. It's right behind the Israel Hospice House. New playground over there. So a lot of great things. And then a bunch of other projects in the park system, basin painting at the Furman Aquatic Center. And then also 2 more things, specifically at Ada Hayden. The Friends of Ada Hayden supported and funded a Modus wildlife tracking system, an antenna system that was installed at the northwest parking lot off of Hyde Avenue. So the Friends of Ada Hayden are going to be helping monitor and gather data of birds that have been tagged and are tracking across the state as far as migration patterns. So that'll be, they worked with the Iowa DNR on that project. So that's a fun one. But also lastly, been working with the Ames anglers and the Iowa DNR in installing some fish habitat into Ada Hayden Lake. The goal was to install this habitat on the ice.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we didn't have very safe ice to do that, but we are working with the Iowa DNR now, and they're going to help us. They're going to bring a boat out, and we have a bunch of cedar trees, and we're going to start dropping some trees into the lake to hopefully help with fish habitat and fish growth. So that'll be coming in the next couple weeks.
Are the Skunk River paddlers helping with that or not?
They might help on the shore, but as of right now, the Skunk River paddlers are not going to be in the lake with canoes. So.
All right. Anything else? All right. Next item on the agenda is commission member comments. I just want to thank Jeremy for 7 years of service on the Parks and Rec Commission. This is his last meeting, and we joined at the same time. I still have 1 year left due to weird terms, but it will be weird without you, and I'll certainly miss your bad jokes. I'm sure you will miss my bad jokes.
Yes, it's been a pleasure for the past 7 years working with Keith and Josh and Courtney and Katie back there, and representing and working for the citizens of Ames, and the whole Parks and Rec department does a great job. I feel like we have the best parks in the area and some of the best amenities, and I hope we can continue to build on those for the city, for the residents. Just keep up the good work, everybody. It's been a lot of fun working with all the current commissioners in the past, and it's been a great experience for the past 7 years, and I don't know what I'm going to do on the third Thursday of every month.
We will never have a more enthusiastic bathroom renovator. on the so.
I need to get work on my own bathroom at home now. Yeah, I would just add Jeremy. Well, what can you do is you can always come and be out in the audience.
Yeah, in
Like
the
to speak
audience.
on the
Yeah.
bathroom renovation
Yes,
agenda
yes.
items. Yeah.
I'll be scanning those agendas.
Yeah, but I will say, Jeremy, it's been a real pleasure, having you on the commission. You're very thoughtful, with what you want to do. You're very supportive of staff and what we do and what we try to accomplish. And yet at the same time, you're very open to listening, to the public and and share those thoughts and those comments and your ideas, with us. So it's been a pleasure. We do have a little something for you, a little Ames Parks and Recreation tag. So it is 10 punches for Homewood.
Sweet.
So thank you so much.
I do like golfing.
Yeah. And then I will also add that so Thera, she wasn't able to be here tonight, but this will be her last meeting as well. And we thank Thera for her time also on the 1 year that she has been on the commission. We do have 2 new commissioners that will start in April. Dr. Jeff Isles will be filling a 1 year term with starting next month, and then Janet Rathy, who is a resident of Ames, she will be filling a 3 year term. And kind of the unique thing with Janet is her father, Chuck Rotfelty, had been a long time commissioner. So she's really excited to be able to follow in his footsteps and give back to the community as all of you do. So I know we're focusing on Thera and Jeremy tonight, but I will add that we do appreciate everything that all of you do for the community and providing guidance and direction to staff. And again, being very supportive of what we do in the hopes of making Ames a better place and improving the quality of life for all of the residents and the visitors of Ames. So we thank you for that.
A lot to be proud of here. So
Yeah,
thank
there
you.
is.
Awesome. Any other comments? So, all right. Our next meeting will be April 18th, 2024 at 4 p.m. And with that, I would take a motion to adjourn.
Hey, can I say just one
Oh.
more thing, kind of out of line? And with it, it's not always you know that we do not do everything that we do by ourselves. We have a lot of staff and 400 part-time and seasonal and temporary staff that work with us throughout the year. So over the last couple of months, we did have Jim Kemmis, who was a longtime umpire with us. He passed away. And then just recently, Billy Cole, who was a longtime umpire, site supervisor. In fact, he just passed away, and just want to just let people know, that we're always thinking of all the people, and there's a lot of people that have worked for us over the years that we stay in contact with. Sometimes we go to lunch and everything, but we do appreciate everything that everybody has done. So just wanted to say, our thoughts and prayers go out to those two families for their loss. And Billy, he's 82 years old, played softball till he was 75. So a lot of neat things. So I just wanted to share that as well.
I just appreciate you making us a part of the Parks and Rec and the City of Ames family, because there are a lot of really special and dedicated people in this department and in this community. So
Yeah.
so thank you.
Friend groups too.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do a
Yeah,
lot
and the
of hard
friends
work.
and so a lot of really passionate people. So
Awesome. Well,
take motion to adjourn.
I will motion to adjourn.